welcome back to my channel. This is Scarlett Pimpernella, and today I wanted to talk to you about Dominion voting software. Yesterday, I hope very much that you tuned in to Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Jenna Ellis's presentation about the Trump legal team and what they've been up to. They made an incredible case for Trump's view that there was massive voter fraud. And Jenna Ellis was the one who talked about how this is just an opening statement. They're not yet presenting the evidence, and because they don't need to, because they're not in a court of law yet. But they did whet the appetite, and they do have quite a bit of evidence. So yesterday when Sidney Powell talked, she mentioned Dominion voting software and its interests outside of the United States. Apparently she said that Hugo Chavez used it in order to secure his election. Maduro also uses it, and that its original founders were Venezuelan. Apparently, it has ties to Germany, Canada, and other countries outside of the US. So anyway, today I just thought I would look into Dominion, the website. And this is the capture from December 26, 2019, so from about a year ago. And as you can see on the left-hand side, they have a notice that on July 17, 2017, Michigan counties have overwhelmingly selected Dominion as their vendor of choice. Michigan had quite a bit of issues with voter fraud that will be brought to light. But down here, it also says Dominion chosen as the sole uniform voting system provider for the state of Colorado. That's from 2015. So I also wanted to check here on careers to see what they were hiring for back a year ago. If they secured the election and delivered the election to Biden and to other Democratic interests, then they would have needed, and they would have been given quite a bit of money to do that. So interestingly enough, if you look at the job opportunities, you have Chicago, Illinois listed, Atlanta, Georgia, Denver, Colorado, another position in Denver, system specialist in Denver. And these are customer relations managers, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So all the big cities where there were multiple issues with voter fraud and where many of the lawsuits are being filed. So something else I wanted to look at, I think it was Rudy Giuliani who mentioned that Texas decided at the last minute to not use the Dominion voting software. This is an article from the Texan that just came out, but it talks about a report that Jose Esparza, the Deputy Secretary of State, wrote back in January of this year. And he said, specifically, the examiner reports raise concerns about whether the Democracy Suite 5.5a system is suitable for its intended purpose, operates efficiently and accurately, and is safe from fraudulent or unauthorized manipulation. Just to remind you, here is the map of Texas and the general results from 2020. And as you can see, Trump took most counties in Texas. Apparently, he took more counties than any other Republican presidential candidate in the last 60 years. So it was a landslide in Texas. It was predicted to be a toss-up state. Maybe it would go to Biden, maybe it would go to Trump, but it was a landslide for Trump. And thanks in part to the fact that they didn't use Dominion. So this is an article that came out on the 8th about Dominion, about the reliability of Dominion voting systems. And I just quickly skimmed this, but I did find something interesting, a report that the Atlanta Journal and Constitution came out with in October. And here it says, Georgia's new electronic system is vulnerable to cyber attacks that could undermine public confidence, create chaos at the polls, or even manipulate the results on election day. So this is that report, and it's written by, this isn't the one, hang on. This is the report that I wanted. It is written by Alan Judd, October 23rd. And first of all, it just says computer scientists, voting rights activists, U.S. intelligence agencies, and a federal judge have repeatedly warned of security deficiencies in Georgia's system and in electronic voting in general. And then it talks about this report that involves the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensberger, who is now at the center of the recount in Georgia. And he is now promoting the view that Biden won in Georgia. So he is compromised. It's another obscenity of this recount effort across the country that Raffensberger is in charge of this. So I'm going to read from this. Instead, so it says, state officials have dismissed their concerns as merely opining on potential risks. Instead, an investigation by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution shows Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger's office weakened the system's defenses, disabling password protections on a key component that controls who is allowed to vote. What they did right there, that's tampering with the election results. That's a major crime. And here it says, in addition, days before early voting began on October 12th, Raffensperger's office pushed out new software to each of the state's 30,000 voting machines through hundreds of thumb drives that experts say are prone to infection with malware. So there is another instance of, this is every single voting machine in the state of Georgia this new software was put on it. What did the new software do? Except possibly make it open to manipulation of the votes. So now Raffensperger is in charge. And look at this. He said 17 hours ago, yesterday, he said, there is no doubt Joe Biden won Georgia. Luckily, not everybody is agreeing with this. There's been some objections from the Republican senators. So David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler are Georgia's Republican senators, and they issued a joint statement last week calling on Raffensperger to step down over his handling of the election, and Raffensperger refused that demand. Again, I very much hope that Raffensperger's corruption will be brought to the fore, because what he did was deliver the election in Georgia to Biden, and it's not right. So that's all that I have for you all today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please watch C-SPAN's presentation of Giuliani, Powell, and Ellis's legal case for Trump, because they did a fantastic job. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.